Welcome back to tonight's sad reality. I have finally done with all the crazy stuff I've had to work with all the really nice people I've gotten to meet as far as editors go. I'm thrilled, honestly, that I got the opportunity to do all that. I'm so glad that I'm finally done with that. Um, Probably one of the cooler, crazier experiences I've had. It's one of those things like I'm gonna look back on it. It's going to be either a really good or a really bad thing. But really, what I'm talking about is I can finally move on. You know, in life, it's like you have some things on your plate in front of you, and then you eat all your food, and then that's it. And I'm finally at one of those points where I get to just kind of do whatever I've been doing, I suppose. What, one, two, three, four, one. So at the very least, it has to be at least five. I think this is right. I think. Interesting. I'm trying to figure out what this game will and won't tell me because I honestly do not remember. Like doing the math here, if I know it's got to be at least 9 wide for this column, the one with the 3 blocks below it, then I know it has to at least extend out this far if I'm doing the math in my head right. Um, and it's probably one of those videos too where I'll look back on this one and be like, wow, I suck at these puzzles. But it'll be funny, I suppose. Let's do the math here. This could theoretically be right. It could also be shifted or asymmetrical or whatever too, which is a whole other problem. Um, but that's like the closest it could potentially be here. I don't really remember any of the strats to this either. Because this is a total of 11 on the second column, with 2 spaces in between, which adds up to 13, which means there is a little bit of wiggle room here. Um, let's work with a hypothetical here. Let's do this. Let's pray it is symmetrical. This leaves 12 spots left, 9 to fill the gap. So maybe about this. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it here. But really, so one of the things I want to talk about tonight, I wanted to get back into the making these videos like much higher quality, if that makes sense. Also, I finally have an answer to this, so that middle one's done. And let's pray this is symmetrical. I think in theory this means they both have to be like that. At least that's 7 in the middle. Again, this isn't actual math. This is me just kind of winging it and saying, oh, hey, this might kind of work. I haven't seen any holes in the logic yet. Although immediately, okay, no, that's fine. I was waiting for one of those things to pop and it didn't. This is fine so far. No holes in the logic. Like there's one of the comments I received the other day. I was looking at this and I was like, man, this is actually something I should probably look into. It was kind of the thought of I don't want to misquote it either. Subjectively thinking about things in the world around us by proxy that it only matters because it's in the world around us specifically. And I think that's a really cool concept, and that's something I definitely want to talk about in an upcoming video. I just haven't had the chance. That's kind of a lie. I have had chances to do this stuff. It's just a matter of me not wanting to take the time to actually do that because everything else in my life. Like it's easy to get tired, it's easy to get bogged down by those things, but um, you just kind of keep going. Something I've always said to people as well. I will very frequently get distracted by things in life, but if I make a promise, I will hold myself to that promise until the bitter end, and I mean potentially a very bitter end because it's going to happen. Just let it happen, even if it takes me way longer than it should have. So I guess apologies on behalf of that. If it does take way longer than it should have. These have to each be one each. There can't be one there or there. These can't be here, which means these have to be there. This is the 5. That's done. These each have to be sets of 1. These have to be sets of 3 at the very minimum, which then blocks off these, which then blocks off these. It's like a logic deduction game, which is really cool about this. The game's called Picross Touch, I think, and what I like about it more specifically than that is kind of this idea that life works very similarly to that, if that makes sense. Or at least the way I'm choosing to look at life in this very subjective frame here. You only have so much time in the day to make all these things happen, and trust me when I say I want all this stuff and I want to finish this puzzle thing. I'm actually really close here. And it may not be perfect, but at the very least we tried with that. Okay, this now makes more sense. Thing the 5's done. This has to be one of these two. These are both there. Look at this, it's kind of beautifully working itself out. And I'm kind of hoping my life is like that, where it just beautifully works itself out. Do I expect it to? No, not really. Not at all, even. It'd be nice if it did. Really. Oh no, what did I just do? Asymmetry is the enemy. Always in this very fragile framework I've created here. Okay, everything's back to balance has been restored in the weird mind I have where OCD seems to make these things work, I guess. 8, 8, which makes these work out. That means I have these, which then I suppose leaves kind of one option for the rest of these. Look at that. It's done. Only took me 7 minutes. I'm probably gonna start the next level and then screw off and go sleep, I guess. But yeah, I used to think of life kind of like a logic game, but not like this so much. It was more so like, if Detroit become human, as dumb as it sounds, where we're kind of the like, this is how things could go. There's a good ending, there's a bad ending. Your dialogue choices matter. That's how I used to kind of think about the actions I take in life. That's also one of the things that kind of scares me. Because sometimes you could be going down the wrong route and you'd never know. It's that one clip. You just never know. Oh boy. So this has to be a minimum of this, I think. Yep. Minimum of that. This has been finished. It's just kind of counting down until this game gets to me and I eventually make a mistake here. It's kind of what I'm waiting on. Yeah, granted, apologies for, I guess, kind of the sloppy quality on the videos. But thanks for sticking around if you have been around for the long haul with all this. Thanks to the people, too, in my life who make all these crazy things possible, and even the people who applied for the editor stuff, again, with the editor channel. Because I feel like when I look back at these things, with this, if you take life like it's a set of dialogue choices, or, gosh, I don't even describe it. Just thankful for people being patient with me, you know? Because I feel like some days I look back and like, man, I'm a screw up when it comes to these things. But people enable it, I guess, what a bad way of saying it. People are forgiving, which isn't something you can find everywhere, but it's something I found, I guess, in this life, so. Oh, look at that. This is already a huge mistake, this column. Well, thanks for watching tonight's Sad Reality. I have no idea what I just did. Gosh, I'm tired. Tomorrow night's video, I'm gonna keep my word here. I'm gonna actually research those things I was talking about earlier. Go see if you can fish through the previous videos and find that comment. I'll be rereading it. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your night. Good luck with your own projects. Try not to overthink things like I do. And I'll see you in tomorrow's side reality. Have a good one, y'all.